The Strawbs, Grave New World. I was persuaded to re-listen to this album having watched an episode of an excellent YouTube channel I follow called 365 Days of Prog. The thing is, it had never occurred to me that this was a prog rock album. I always saw the Strawbs as a folk act that dabbled in rock music. They started out playing with Sandy Denny, and their leader, Dave Cousins, has that archetypical folk voice. That voice that sounds of finger in the ear singing real ale and woolly jumpers by a cosy log fire. The album is supposed to be a concept album about one man's life, so it starts with The Wanderer Has Far to Go, and it ends with his journey's end. But that could be all of our lives. Each man has his entrance and exit, with random songs in between. The opening song Benedictus has always been a favourite of mine, though I find I was probably more keen on it when I was starting out on my journey with an unknown future, as opposed to now I am near my journey's end with more to look back on than to look forward to. Benedictus is a secular hymn like You'll Never Walk Alone. It speaks of no deity. It is stirring and has that quality of appearing to be a song from those mythical days of yore, the kind of thing Richard Thompson excels at. The wanderer has far to go, humble must he constant be. Where the path of wisdom leads, distant is the shadow of the setting sun. And it has the chorus, bless the daytime, bless the night, bless the sun which gives us light, bless the thunder, bless the rain, bless all those who cause us pain. The Strawbs were later to have a real hit single with a song of a similar ilk, but possibly a touch more rock and roll, called Lay Down. They even dressed as glam rockers to play it on top of the pops. The one track that truly makes this album prog is the epic New World. There's blood in the dust where the city's heart beats. The children play games that they take from the streets. How can you teach when you've so much to learn? May you turn in your grave new world. I'm not sure any keyboard has ever replicated the power of the mellotron. On New World we get that sound of the knights in white satin, exiled from the court of the Crimson King. Some of the production ideas on this album do seem a bit dated even for the early 70s. Backwards noise and sitar are a bit of a distraction from a couple of very nice melodies, though we do get the mellotron flutes, like echoes from strawberry fields. There is a song that sounds like a classic from the days of music hall, performed in a jolly post-World War II workers' playtime BBC light programme kind of way. And there are even some bits that sound like folk music with acoustic guitars and harmony singing. On this album the styles range from very precise solo acoustic to massively bombastic kitchen sink rock pomposity, which is my favourite kind. There is lead guitar, but it tends to soar rather than shred, and it all winds down with some very tasteful piano. It reminds me a bit of Jethro Tull's Aqualung and Thick as a Brick, though the Strawbs were much more collaborative than Tull, with multiple writers and lead singers. The bass player adds to the philosophy with a clever number that is just acoustic guitars and has the chorus, "Fools must pretend to be wise, with a faith that we use as a heavy disguise." And the guitarist does a fine summing up with the line, "Ah me, things ain't what they used to be, ah my, in days gone by." The final two songs are definitely harder for me to listen to now than they were in the early 70s. The Traveller sums up his life and comes to his journey's end. I have re-listened to the piece as a whole, but if I revisit it again I will cherry pick the songs that don't force me to confront my own mortality. There is death in the air with the lights growing dim, and those who survive sing a desperate hymn. Pray that the gods grant you one final request, may you rest in your grave. New World. The Strawbs.